Hello everyone, welcome back. If you've been here before, if not, then hello, welcome to the channel. Okay, so here's another law, or laws, I guess you could say, but about a law. So I was on the phone last night with my friend, and he was talking about moving to Oregon, and he has a plan for the future to be a drug counselor. So he mentioned, which I heard about this a while ago, the law that Oregon passed, I think it was 2020, yeah, that, well, the way the conversation went was, hey, did you know that Oregon passed a law where you could have a small amount of drugs, illicit, like, street drugs, and it be legal? Uh, so, everything I hear from people I take with a grain of salt, because even though I heard that, I had never done any research on it, so I told him that I knew what he was talking about. So I went and did some research of my own. And no, they're not legal. It's not exactly like that. See, people hear things, and that's why I made this channel, is because sorry about the camera bouncing around. I have it on a selfie stick. Remember, I live in my car, so this is what I'm working with right now. This is what we're all working with right now, because you're watching these videos. So, my college books, here's the curtains, my snacks, my Bible, got my pens, charger. So I'm sitting in bed. I usually been doing it outside, but I thought, you know what? To heck with it. I'm going to show them what my life looks like right now. Okay, so, no, it's not the glamorous van life. I don't have actually any money at all. All I have in my bank right now is $5, but, I thought I'm going to make a dang YouTube channel. I'm tired of waiting. I've been wanting to make one for a very long time now. So, what better time is it than now? Right? I need to quit waiting. Anyway, back, I digress. Back to the law. Okay, so, look this up. Or I looked this up. Oregon, in 2020. Wait, is this the right page? Yes. Okay, I got my notes. I'm not looking down to be shy. I'm not being rude. If I'm looking down, I'm reading my notes. So I guess I could always hold them up here like other people, but then that would just, if I look over, then I look like I'm being deceiving. So I'm just gonna let you guys know I'm looking down at my notes, okay? So, not shifty looking side to side at a prompt, nothing like that. I'm looking down at my notes. Okay, Oregon. In 2020, 50% of voters in Oregon passed a ballot measure to decriminalize possession of small amounts of illicit drugs and invest in treatment into recovery efforts. The law went into effect in 2021. Ultimately known as HB 4002. It's good to know the numbers that these laws are. So, like, if someone is an S offender, then that's a 290. Keep that in mind. So, if you ever hear someone talking about 290, that is the number one you need to keep in mind. Okay? So, if someone's like, oh no, I haven't done any bad crime. I'm just a 290, and you're thinking, okay, whatever, I'm not even going to look it up. I'm going to forget about it. Keep that one in mind. Okay, ultimately known as HB 4002, which includes provisions relating to misdemeanors, drug treatment programs, prescriptions, behavioral health workers, and much more. I wonder what's much more, right? So, I'm wondering what's that mean? What's much more mean? So I look into that, and this is what they're going to be doing. Here's how they will be enforcing said law, aka regulation. Default, because it's not really a law. It is technically a law, but it's really regulation. They're just trying to regulate the population. Here's how I just wrote down a couple things. Here's how they would be enforcing, I'm sorry, I keep going back to that. A default to probation with mandatory addiction treatment with no jail time nor fines if probation is violated or denied. It could lead up to 180 days of jail time. So, a default to probation with mandatory addiction drug treatment. That is the repercussion. So that means it's not legal. You don't, a cop doesn't just, however he talks to you, whether you're walking on the street, riding a bike, get pulled over, whatever. Okay, you have police contact. All right, so I'm trying to keep this camera straight. I really am, but I'm really fidgety and I keep kicking this door. I got this selfie stick on the door here. I have ADHD, so I'm really fidgety. Keep that in mind. Okay, so you don't just get off. It's not legal. You don't just get caught with these illicit street drugs and the cop goes, "Okay, good day to you." That's not how that works. You either have to do drug treatment with probation, or if you don't do that, which means no jail time, so they do let you out, but you have to follow up with probation, which, I could only imagine how busy probation is. The probation department, how many probationees they have, Okay, so, like I said, if you violate that or you deny that, if you're like, I'm not going to probation, I'm not going to drug treatment, then you do 180 days, or it could lead up to 180 days of jail time. After any probation, the second one says, after any probation or jail time ends, criminal records are automatically expunged either within 90 days or to up to 3 years, depending on sanctions. That one's kind of alarming because that just means every 90 days or 3 years for some people. 3 years, you gotta have a bunch of other offenses. I know that no matter where you're at. So let's say it's the 90 days. Are these people just going to keep every 90 days, boom, 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 boom? Because they know it's going to fall off in 90 days, which I know that's not exactly how drug use works, because you're going to keep doing it every day. You're not just going to do it every 90 days. But regardless, so that was the questions I had. Okay, going down next. Okay, so I thought this kind of sounded like the $0 bail in California. So during the pandemic, during the pandemic, okay, they would do this $0 bail thing where they would, I don't know if everyone knows about, obviously a lot of people know about this, but they were doing $0 bails, so they're arresting you, taking you down to the jail or the station, booking you, setting your bail at $0, and automatically you're getting out and you're racking up all these charges. I was with somebody for 3.5 years. He was very abusive. That was the worst relationship I've ever been in my life. So he wasn't just abusive to me. He was an alcoholic. He was a raging alcoholic. So he was abusive to everybody. So he was just, boom, racking up these charges, assault, this and that, drug charges. It was awful. I'll get into that story later, as time goes on. I can even sit down and have a story time about it, but right now, I don't feel like opening up about that right now. But anyway, so he racked up all these charges. So him and I had gotten in trouble, and I will tell you about this another time. And I remember looking at his paper, and because it was sitting right there in court, and there was my file and there was his file, and I remember grabbing his real quick, and the judge was doing something. Court had just started, and I asked my attorney, could I look at it? And he said, if you ask him. So I said, hey, can I look at your papers? He said, sure, because I was curious about the $0 bail thing. So I looked at the paper, and as I'm reading it, my mind's blown, right? There is charge after charge after charge after charge. Like, I'm flipping the papers, all those times that they had arrested him during the pandemic and let him go the next day, or not the next day, but like a few hours later, right? Because they had to go through booking process. Sometimes it was the next day because he was in the holding cell all night for being drunk. But anyway, he had like 21 charges. I could not believe it. And then so the pandemic ended, and he had to deal with all those charges. Unbelievable. So I thought that's what this sounded like a lot, right? Was a $0 bill, except they were just making it about a small amount of drugs. So I was doing more research, and it turns out that Oregon reversed HB 4002. And I thought, hey, they reversed the $0 bill in California too. And when I was looking this up, I saw, some things saying that it was a test to see how people would act during if they made drug charges basically $0 bills. I don't think that that's exactly what it was. I think that during the pandemic, that same thing that was happening in California and was happening in Oregon, where they were having staffing problems, and due to the staffing problems and the jails and prisons becoming too full because of the pandemic, because of the $0 bill thing, because of people just acting up and going haywire, thinking it's the end of the world. They just started doing this, and they started making it a lesser charge, and they planned on going back on their word and making it illegal anyway. They plan on reversing it. That's just my opinion. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a psychologist, psychiatrist, scientist. What's the other one? Law enforcement. I think that's all of them. So these are just my opinions, but that's what it sounded like to me, was the $0 bill, and I actually think that was the same exact one. So, same exact point, same exact everything, just different state, different number, different code number. So, I will be talking to my friend about that later, and I just wanted to talk to you guys about that. Ask if you knew about that. Do you guys live in Oregon? And if there are any law suggestions that you'd like me to talk about, then I can do some research and make some more videos on that. So thank you guys for being here. God bless you. Love you guys. And I'll hopefully see you in the next video. Okay, God bless you. Bye.